Every vote that we do tonight will be a roll call vote because we have teleconferencing and we have people face to face. Every vote tonight has to be a roll call vote for MSBA procedures. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pound my fake gavel and I'm going to call the WEM regular school board meeting for Monday, March 23rd to order. Time now is 6:05. As far as attendance goes, we have, if you want to say here or something present, just so that we have record of verbally here, raise your hand. Pam Baker, I'm here. Travis Bowman. Dan Houlihan.
Yeah.
Gary Michael.
Present.
Jay Schneider. Jeff Stangler. And John Belishek. We also have our activities director and community ed director, Jeff Moran, and business manager, Margaret Jewison, and both principals, Bobby Joe Bastine and Jennifer Wilson here. So the attendance is taken. Are there any additional agenda items than what was sent out? There are no additional agenda items. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Second.
Okay, so Jay Schneider made the motion. Sorry, I worked with a Jay Gassner for 18 years. So Jay Schneider made the motion and Travis Bowman seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Okay, so we do have to have a roll call vote. So bear with me. I approve. Pam Baker approve. Travis Bowman.
I approve.
Dan Houlihan.
I approve.
Gary Michael.
Yes.
Jay Schneider.
Yes.
Jeff
Yes.
Stangler.
Approve.
John Belishek.
Approve.
7 yes, agenda's been approved. Okay. All right, so the next item up is to approve the meeting minutes from the February 24th, 2020 school board meeting.
So move.
I'll second.
Travis Bowman made the motion and Jeff Stangler seconded to approve the minutes from February 24th, 2020 board meeting. Is there any discussion? Okay, we have a motion from Gary, no. Dan, I'm just wanting to make sure that they feel included.
I think I might have seconded that last one, but anyway, that's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can it be any louder in here? Because I can't hear them if they,
Don't worry about it.
okay, my speaker. Okay. All right. So we have Travis made the motion, Jeff seconded it, and there is any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote then. All those in favor are going to say yes. Opposed, say no. Pam Baker, yes. Travis Bowman.
Yes.
Dan Houlihan.
Yes.
Gary Michael.
Yes.
Jay Schneider.
Yes.
Jeff Stangler.
Yes.
And John Belishek.
Yes.
Okay, 7 yes. Board minutes from February 24th, 2020 have been approved. All right, Gary Michael, you're up for the February financial transactions from March.
Actually, I'm not up because I can't pull up the board book. For some reason, when I'm on this Zoom, I can't pull it up. So I wouldn't be able to make a motion.
Okay, So Margaret is here and she's graciously offered to make some notations about the March financial report.
Somebody's gonna have to make a
You're
motion.
gonna have, okay, so you can't even see the information. Okay. What's that? Usually you make the motion first, right? And then we have the discussion follow that. So just 1 second, I'm pulling up the report and I can make the motion. Okay. So I make a motion to approve bills and payroll in the total of $690,534.17. Deposits in the total of $1,033,157.99, and transfers for $6,806,405.30. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. So then we're going to allow for the discussion, if there's any discussion about that, and Margaret is going to provide some information.
So I will just point out in the transfers, most of that $6 million was the maturity of CDs in our building funds within the Minnesota School District Liquid Asset Fund. That was $6,006,405. And turning to the check listing, check 78633 to School Management Services for $17,500 is half of the annual contract for our payroll services, and that will get prorated. So a portion will be on this fiscal year and a portion will be on next fiscal year, just based on the number of days or months that she was working in each fiscal year. And then about halfway down that page, I apologize, I missed one, check 78650 to MAHS is the Minnesota Honor Society. So Mr. Cleaver's the advisor there, and that was some supplies he ordered for induction. So I don't know if they have pins or honor cords or some of those items, but that was for that. The top of the next page, check 78665 is the Wasika contract for special ed. So that's $96,000. The next page, halfway down, check 78729 is IXL, and that's computer software used for the title program. So those were ones that I had noted. If there's any others that people see and want to ask questions about, you can let me know. Oh, and then Travis and I had already discussed in student activities, check 711509 to leisure time tours. That is band and choir. I omitted band on that. Sorry, but it's both of them. And the company is working very hard to get things canceled to try to get as much money back for our students. So we'll be working with them and getting information out to parents and students as soon as we have that information. I know some items, they're not able to get refunds, they're going to get credits, and then that's just working through where they can apply that to future trips, even if they're not ours, so then we can get more money back to our students. Potentially applying it to a future trip that we take, or just applying it to a different school group that's going and then getting us the money back. So they're working on it. As soon as we know, we'll get that information to parents and get refunds back to parents. So that's all I had. If there's anything else.
Travis?
Yeah, just to be transparent, I want everyone to know that that has already been paid, that $47,696. So, and we have to approve it tonight. So that is the reason we're doing it. Because I know a lot of people have stake in it. You know, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears raising that money. So if it doesn't happen, you know, it's just wanted you guys to be aware of that.
And I spoke with the president of the company, or the owner, and she's very adamant that they're going to get us back as much money as they can. I know at the beginning of the year, the meeting was that they're signing it, it's non-refundable. That's not the policy in this situation. They really want to get as much of that back to the students as possible.
And the students and parents have been communicated with, I'm assuming, that there's
just that it's been canceled and that they're working on it. And I know Mr. Larson and Ms. Kreinbring have been really busy getting all their classroom stuff ready. So I don't know how much more they've given. At this point, we just don't know what that dollar amount is going to be.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, so a roll call vote to approve bills and payroll deposits and transfers as presented. Pam Baker, yes. Travis Bowman,
No.
Dan Houlihan,
Yeah.
Gary Michael,
Yes. Do you hear me?
is Gary, okay, sorry. Jay Schneider,
Yes.
Jeff Stangler,
Yes.
John Velishek.
Yes.
Okay, the bills and the payroll deposits and transfer are approved 6-1.
Hey, Pam? This is Gary. Can you hear me?
Yes, Gary.
Can you tell me which administrators are there?
Okay, both principals, Mr. Baran and Mr. Whitehurst are here.
Okay, thanks. I missed that earlier.
I apologize. Okay, so now we're at the visitor comment portion. And is that where we're not able to allow them to raise their hand, Mr. Yankee, or not?
If they send it, chat, I can turn them on, or I can turn everybody on.
Okay, well, we're maybe need to figure that out for our next electronic meeting. And maybe we can set up an email where they have to submit it by 8 a.m. But I see this as a wave of the future, not necessarily just this one time, so.
If someone says, "Set chat right now," I want to talk.
Okay. All right. Do we have anybody that would like to chat? Mr. Yankee has graciously offered to turn them on. All right, I don't see any hands going up. Do you see hands going up, Mr. Yankee? Okay. All right, moving along then, we have some monetary donations to approve. Some very generous donations. Just bear with me, I'm not used to going on the paper version. So we have monetary donations to approve. WEM Moving Forward Foundation of $13,249 for a music donation. I believe that was primarily, if not all, a piano. And then we have Elysian Bank, $250 scholarship donation. The Waterville Lions Club, $1,120 technology donation. And the Lions Club also donated $269.50 for a Peace Patrol donation.
So move.
I'll second it. So Travis Bowman made the motion and Pam Baker seconded the donations received. Is there any discussion? Okay, this will be the roll call vote again. Pam Baker, yes. Travis Bowman,
Yes.
Dan Houlihan,
Yes.
Gary Michael,
Yes.
Jay Schneider,
Yes.
Jeff Stangler,
Yes.
and John Velishek.
Yes.
Okay, so 7 yes, motion, donations received, approved. All right. All right, then we are to our reports, and we first up are our principal reports.
Hi, everybody. Just from the pre-K six. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me at home?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just staffing updates for us. Letting you know that on March 3rd, on our late start, our staff continued to do work on grade level and department professional learning plans, diving into curriculum and standards work. The pre-K 6, currently the pre-K 6th grade teachers are working really hard to prepare for distance learning. Everyone has been in here putting in an enormous amount of hours and time, getting some training on some technology to bring this home to our kids. Wanted you to know, should distance learning begin on March 30th, we are ready to go. District paraprofessionals are currently working to support food needs and childcare needs for WEM students. So they've been working some great hours and being very flexible in helping us to do that, to provide that. Other things of note for the month of March, March 6th, our kindergarten students got their program in, so we were happy to see many families here enjoying the students' work and their progress in music. Mr. Schmidt, thank you for a fine job. March 3rd, we had our third preschool screening. That was the third of the year. We had many preschoolers and parents attend. You should also know that on March 10th, our 5th and 6th graders had their science fair. Very well attended. 69 students, 46 projects, and 12 volunteer judges put it all together. We had a total of 17 students who were invited to go to the regional science fair. Unfortunately, with the current situation, the regional science fair has been canceled, so our kids don't get to go. We had about 85 visitors sign in that day to come see the project, so it was very well attended and very well organized. Thank you to Rachel Wetzel for getting that done. You should also know our 5th and 6th grade students. We had students attend the Young Writers and Artists Conference at Bethany on March 12th. That's an annual event that allows students to meet authors, to meet artists, and other community leaders and educators, giving them an opportunity to explore the subjects in different subjects in writing and creative arts. March 13th, our 6th grade students, that Friday, we had 10 6th grade students attend the Math Masters competition at Bethany College in Mankato. Again, a very good showing for our students. There were 39 teams there from the surrounding communities. 189 students ended up participating that day. Students competed in individual as well as team competitions around problem solving. This year, Avery Wetzel placed 13th and Dylan Rossler placed 18th in the individual round. Congratulations to them as well as the other members, as they did a great job representing our school and themselves in that competition. Thank you to Anna Skidmore and Laura Salmon and Kylie Corner, who is one of our student teachers who were coaches. They did a great job in preparing our students, so thank you for that. I should say that looking forward, our 3rd and 4th grade science fair, obviously scheduled for March, has been canceled. And then our 1st and 2nd grade music concert is postponed at this time until we can be back. That's what I have right now. Any questions?
Yeah, what platform are the teachers using for online teaching?
I can't hear Dan. You know, Dan, we've got a couple different things going on. In the elementary, Seesaw is one way that we can communicate with our families at home. We can't really do Google Hangout with the pre-K through 3 because they don't have email addresses. So our teachers are using Seesaw for the pre-K through 3rd. 4 through 6 is using Schoology as their way of communicating with families. As a staff, we're going to be using Zoom. And we've talked about other ways like Remind. Some of our teachers already have that to communicate with families and things like that.
Yeah, this might be more relevant for the high school, but I think Moodle is offering their stuff for free to schools and colleges if they need something. I'd heard that just the other day. but that would probably be more relevant for
Yeah.
the high school.
And
Okay.
I think it's similar to Schoology too.
Yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of them. D2L, a couple others. I just. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'll turn it over to Dr. Wilson.
Good evening. Hi.
Hello.
Bobby touched on a number of things that I also have as far as the 2-hour late start, and just that staff are working really hard to get distance learning up and running. I won't go in order in my report just because we're on distance learning, but the high school and 7th and 8th grade in Morristown will continue to use Schoology as the year has gone on. Teachers have become fairly proficient with it and are doing a nice job. This is an opportunity to really text and test what we do know and how we can utilize all avenues of Schoology, including some forum options and so forth. Mr. Yaki, with the help of homeroom teachers and advisors, helped to create a list by making phone calls and tabulating what students had for connectivity in the at their home. And so that allows us to build a list of what kind of internet, what kind of devices. Granted, we pretty much know what the devices they have, at least 712, because we are one-to-one. But the purpose of the connectivity is to determine how many and of what paper items we have to send home, so we can make sure students are ready to go. We did ask our staff to have 15 days worth of curriculum ready to go for students at home, whether they envelope that to them each day, or if it's a paper copy, they can send those 15 days home. And based on our school calendar, it gets us a little bit more than 3 weeks. So we're past Easter at this point with that. And depending on what MD and the governor say, we could be back and we could be out even longer. So we thought 15 days was a good day to prepare for. It's about approximate time of a unit, and with the time that we have right now, it just seemed most appropriate. And then once 15 days, if we're still on distance learning, if we have to go beyond that, then we will reconnect and give out more directives on that. But ultimately, we're looking at not too many days left of school. We're already in the 4th quarter, and we are losing a couple of weeks because of this shutdown. So, 4th quarter, instead of 8 weeks, it's 8.5 weeks. We're looking more like 6 weeks maybe. And 15 days is about halfway through. So we'll see. Time will tell. But I would echo Ms. Bastian's comments about staff working hard. It's been, we face some times of apprehension and some times of, I'm not going to say fear, but just it's more a worry about how this is all going to look and feel. And I can say last week I zoomed in for actually a superintendent class of mine, and I felt really good after leaving that. There's about 12 of us, and they range from principals all across the state, big school, small school districts, and I feel like our district is in a really good spot, and that is not without a lot of effort, but it's also progression with the implementation of Chromebooks and one-to-one for 7 through 12 and even down into the elementaries. Not every school is where we're at with that, so I feel really good, and thank you for the investment. And then also Schoology helps create a platform that is conducive to both students in the classroom, in the school buildings, but also for distance learning. So it's just a really nice transition. It has more of a collegiate feel as well. So I can appreciate that. And I know as we move forward, that's going to be a great benefit to our teachers and our students. Along with that, some of the things that we have in place for the year as far as observations and the importance of giving good quality feedback, I don't anticipate that changing. It's just going to look a little bit different. All of our non-tenured staff received their second formal observation since we last met, and so they have their 3rd one left to go here. And then in the cycle of tenured staff that were on rotation for observation, for the 7th through 12th graders, there's only 12th grade teachers, there's only one that is left, and that meeting has been scheduled. It was scheduled over a month ago. It's just we're waiting for that time to come. Again, that's probably going to look a little different, but with technology, with Zoom and Google Hangout and so forth, I think we can get her done. And then I think the last thing that I just want to talk about as well is that we did send out a survey, Ms. Bastine and I did, to our teaching staff and support staff in the building that include paraprofessionals and office workers about, we had actually 2 questions. We kept it fairly simple but left it open-ended. The first question was directed towards each individual's building and the position that they hold, and to look at areas that we should focus more on to create greater efficiencies. And whether that included financial savings, that's one thing, but we know, especially right in this current state, that efficiencies are the most helpful. And generally speaking, they create budget savings, but not always. And then the second thing was, we felt if we were going to give a survey, we should get a little bit more information back to help us with scheduling as well. So we asked for some priorities from their lens and what we can do to better address their needs in the classroom and throughout the district. With all the staff members surveyed, we had a total of 13 respondents from pre-K all the way to 12th grade teaching staff and support staff. So we didn't get a great turnout, and I would say about half of those only answered one of the 2 questions, and it was the second question. There was no collective thought. There was no common theme across responses. So we will continue to take them and use them as we build and communicate with you, communicate schedules for next year. Questions? Yep. They had to log in because it was done through a Google form. And so they had to log in with their email, but unless they specifically said who they were, which I don't believe anyone did, we don't know. I mean, we could take stabs on it based on their responses, but they were confidential. Yep.
You said 13 out of 3 Ks to 12.
Yep, and that included support staff. The breakdown, if you wanted the breakdown, you had 6. Ms. Bastine had 6 respondents in the K through 6 area, and 7 through 12 had 7.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Baran.
Good afternoon. Different definition to March Madness this year. Dan and Gary, I did email you the CEDAR report, and I did hand it out to the rest of you. Basically, just for the winter season, kind of a wrap up, some congratulations. I know there's some other things coming through as well, but again, congratulations to both boys and girls basketball teams on earning Gopher Conference championships. The boys were undefeated, won the conference championship, and the girls tied with Medford. Girls also, as you know, won the first section tournament and section tournament, and were participants in the state tournament, and very happy to say that they were undefeated in the state tournament. Have not heard anything, obviously, with Friday's situation. I was on Highway 35 in the middle lane when I got a phone call regarding cancellation of the tournament. Prior to getting into downtown Minneapolis, I was able to make 3 phone calls, one to the coach and the team, and one to Mr. Whitehurst and Jay Schneider, to let them know what was going on. Pretty difficult situation, but again, I think decisions were made in the interest of everybody's safety and health, and you know, it was still a great opportunity for our kids, and they performed well. It's just too bad they didn't get an opportunity to see what they could do beyond that. Gopher Conference, all Gopher Conference players, Grant McBroom was named the Gopher Conference Boys Player of the Year. He was joined by Dominic Paulson, As on the first team, all-conference team, Cole Kokoschke was on the second team. Zach Sticken was honorable mention, and Matthew Van Hout was sportsmanship award winner. On the girls' side, Torrin Richards was named the first team all-conference. Brielle Bartle and Ellie Reddy were named the second team. Kylie Pittman was recognized on the honorable mention team, and Trista Herring earned a sportsmanship award. WM senior Tucker Rentz was named honorable mention all Gopher Conference wrestling. We did have a couple of JWP wrestlers. Ethan Ryder was all conference, and Ted Carlson won or earned the Gopher Conference Sportsmanship Award for the Grizzlies. Both the band and concert choir earned superior ratings at the large group contest at JWP on March 2nd. Currently, prior to suspension, I guess, of the season, we had 27 boys in track and field, 7 through 12, and 32 girls currently registered. Softball had 19 girls in grades 9 through 12 and 13 registered in 7th and 8th. Baseball, there was 18 boys, 9 through 12, and 13 in 7th and 8th. Obviously, the speech season has been suspended. Again, some of the speech stuff could be done at a later date, depending upon if or when we do go back. Junior high play obviously has been postponed, possibly canceled. A lot of that would have to do with availability of the director and so on. So a lot of those things. Clay Target team, there are 43 participants currently registered for Clay Target. That is also suspended. However, depending upon obviously the way things go in the state with the shutdown, that season could be canceled. They could also move it back. I believe they would eliminate the state tournament, which is in June. And if they had to go until July with the they could do that. So there is potential that the Clay Target could take place. Currently, just prior to the shutdown, for the week prior to that, we had a driver education classroom taking place, which we have 27 students involved. They did finish 15 of the required 30 hours. Did learn from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety that the classroom does have to be in a classroom setting. It cannot be online. And so basically that's suspended. We will finish the other 15 hours with those students when we can. We also had a May classroom that is organized with about 14 or 15 students. And again, I guess on hold with that as far as what's going to happen with the shutdown. A lot of the other things in community ed, obviously the firearm safety and things like that, Minnesota DNR, AARP have all obviously canceled everything. So we have an awful lot of activities and things like that that have been canceled or postponed. Summer activities have been hearing from some things there. It's still potential that we could host those, and they're not, again, 100% sure based upon how long this lasts. And I guess I just had a couple other things about the shutdown. Currently, we have 13 students registered of parents of Tier 1 and Tier 2 students for the child care. We are open from 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a screening check each day, temperature and a couple of questions. And we're doing our best, I guess, with social distancing, but you put 5 or 6 kids, together. They can't just sit in a classroom all day long. So we have some different activities for them to do and so on and so forth. Again, trying to do the best we can in regards to the child care mandate. And lunches and I guess meals, I would say obviously the 3 sites are set up, Waterville Elementary, Morristown, and the Elysian site. Today, we prepared 159 meals for grab and go. That will change pretty much from day to day with those meals. There you have it. Question?
No, I just want to say thanks, Jeff. I know that rescheduling and the last minute things, I'll thank all the staff, but I just want to especially thank you with the things that came up with the tournament and hotels and things like that that all just came up last minute, and working very hard to get the approved fan list and then having to swap out. I mean, I'm sorry that happened to you, and thank you for your hard work on
That didn't
that.
happen to me. It happened to the kids. So.
Well, thank you.
That's very, I'd like to reiterate that sentiment.
Sam, can I say
I
something?
did have a question.
Mr. Yankee, is
More of a,
technology fixed?
yes.
Okay. We have a technology update.
Well, just for us here, I would actually, I think hopefully all of you listening on the other end are all right, but I think I'd ask us in here to turn off our speakers. So, because we're getting kind of this delay that we hear back. So